Welcome to Credit Unit 4. In this credit unit, we'll be taking a look at finances. In this first module, we'll be looking at accounting in particular. Accounting deals with all the financial figures underlying a business, and whether or not you consider yourself a numbers person, you'll need to know some of the core principles of accounting regardless of where you see yourself fitting into the business world. Accountants all work with numbers to understand and communicate the financial story of an organization. But not all accountants do the same thing. There are two broad categories most accounting fits into: management accounting and financial accounting. Management accounting works within an organization to help give managers and owners the information they need to make decisions. Financial accounting provides information to groups both inside and outside the company and helps assess an organization's performance. Accountants use a number of statements, reports, and forms as tools to understand what's going on with an organization. Perhaps the three most important of these are the income statement, the statement of owner's equity, and the balance sheet. Income statements show not just total sales, but also expenses as well. Subtracting the expenses from the sales revenue gives you the bottom line, or the total profit or loss. The statement of owner's equity simply shows how much of the company's value is the result of owner investment and how that investment has changed over time. For example, if a company makes $1,000 in profit, the owner can either take the money out as income, in which case their equity in the company stays the same, or they can leave it invested in the company, in which case their equity in the company increases by $1,000. The balance sheet shows company assets, liabilities, and owner's equity. It's called a balance sheet because when everything has been properly accounted for, it should balance like this: assets equals liabilities plus owner's equity. This basically means that the value of all the assets or resources a company has is the result of either an outstanding debt the company owes, like a loan, or an investment by the owner. Then we'll look at the two major types of accounting method you can use. Cash basis records transactions at the time payments are sent or received. It is the simpler of the two, but it doesn't always reflect the most accurate picture of what's going on. Accrual accounting records transactions when they occur, regardless of when the payments are finally received. The numbers may not fully match what's in a company's bank account at certain times, but it's considered a more accurate reflection overall because it shows when the purchases and sales are actually made. Then we'll look at how to evaluate a company's performance from its financial statements. Obviously, looking at the history of a company's income statements will show you how sales, expenses, and profits have changed over time. But sometimes the raw numbers don't clearly show how things are changing. Just because sales revenues go up doesn't mean the company's doing better. Vertical percentage analysis looks at your expenses and profits as percentages of the total sales. This can help you identify where to focus your attention to rein in expenses. Ratio analysis is similar. Instead of just looking at the final numbers, it looks at certain numbers in comparison to others. The four types we'll be looking at are profit margin ratios, which show profits in relation to expenses; management efficiency ratios, which show how efficiently your resources are being used; management effectiveness ratios, which show how well the business is being run overall; and financial condition ratios, which show how strong your company's finances are. We'll revisit business ethics as they relate to accounting practices before finally taking a look at careers in accounting. Are you interested in a career in accounting? Accountants often get stereotyped as boring pencil pushers, but a career in accounting actually involves working with people to solve complex problems. Additionally, demand for accountants is high, the pay is good, and prospects seem steady for the foreseeable future. This chapter gets a little complicated. I recommend taking things a little bit slower than the others, and make sure you understand each idea before moving on to the next, as many of the concepts build on one another. Good luck as you begin the final credit unit of the course.
Created using Powtoon.